Okay, folks, here we are again, looking at another pair of boots. Here we have the Viberg 2030 service boot in Horween black Chromexcel. Viberg is made in Canada, whereas the whites we looked at is made in Spokane, Washington, United States. Look at that silhouette. Yeah, the 2030 is a gorgeous boot. I've been wanting one of these. It's a little bit more of like a dress boot, service boot. Trademark the name. This stitch down that they do is the amount of stitching per inch or whatever. It's very fine. There's a lot of stitching going up here, and it just looks very clean. Got these used through Facebook actually for $350. Originally, this is a $860 boot at this moment. Very expensive. I mean, you can find some for like $820 at certain websites through vendors. This is a size 8, but it's 8 UK, so it's more like a 9 US. So Viberg uses the UK sizing. So they don't run that big, because if you directly translate it to a 9, and I wear like a 9.5 in a sneaker, it pretty much runs true to size. You just have to match it with your equivalent UK size. So usually a half or a size down from your US size. Okay, it's a little lower of a heel than what I'm used to with the other PNWs. I mean, I kind of consider this a PNW. It's similar kind of like strong construction, rugged construction. This is a straight block heel. Okay, no taper to that. We have a day-night sole, which is a UK brand made in England. And so the natural Chromexcel, I mean, I don't know about the ones I got. They were used. Looks like I'm getting some creasing. I've seen some that are just riddled with creases up in here. Doesn't look too good. But you know, it's a thinner, it's still relatively thick, but it's thinner than like a work leather, you know. Very signature Viberg, one piece backstay here. Also reminiscent of like an Iron Ranger or something, or like the whites MPM1. So yeah, even though it's double row, doesn't really protrude out. This midsole and outsole, it doesn't protrude out all that much for being double row. They're very fine. However, on the bottom, only one row of stitching comes through for the day-night sole. Like I was saying, day-night sole, it's more dress oriented. English, made of Britain. Yeah, you also see Ridgeway soles are really popular for Viberg. So natural stain here on the heel stack and midsole. What else can I go over? All eyelets, generally on the Vibergs. I got these black leather laces that came with it. Pretty nice. I've seen them with more like the black and white looking laces like that whites does. They look good as well, but I do like the all black. It's not bad looking. So yeah, I mean, this is the most boot ever, in my opinion. When it comes to service boots, I mean, nobody really does them like Viberg. I mean, this particular shape, the 2030, it's epic. It's very sleek and narrow looking, but yet when you actually have it on, it's very roomy and anatomical toe box here. You have plenty of room with this last. It's a very comfortable last. It's not lined, but it does have a half sock liner. You can see it where it cuts off at. I don't like it. Mine slightly curls up at the edge, and I can feel it. So you see it says Viberg. It's nice, it feels nice, except for the way it's cut. I wish it was just a full piece, because not so much on this left one, but on this right one, I could feel it curl up a little bit. So when I take my foot in and out, I can feel it a good bit, and I don't like that. Just to point that out. So yeah, black Chromexcel. Best thing I can compare it to is whites. MP Sherman. The Sherman has a toe cap, obviously, and you can see how much more shiny the Viberg 2030 looks compared to the this MP. That's because this is the CMP. It's a regular stitch down. I've explained this in my last video about this boot. This is not the same company. This is Horween from Chicago, whereas this is Seidel double shot, also black, from Wisconsin. So both U.S. tanneries, probably the two most popular U.S. tanneries there are. So this being an 8 Viberg and an 8.5 on the whites. Viberg is actually an E width technically. That's their standard width, is E width rather than D. It's kind of strange. So yeah, it's actually like the Viberg looks like to be a little bit bigger, surprisingly. However, on my foot, the whites actually feels a lot longer because of how narrow it is. It's a very thin last. So, and I guess with the toe cap as well, it just makes it feel really long and thin. So, do I regret having both in black? Kind of. I mean, it gives me a direct comparison between Chromexcel and double shot, because double shot is basically Seidel's response to Horween's Chromexcel. So that's kind of interesting, but it's a little redundant. If I could do it all over again, I'd probably get one of them in brown instead. So you can see the heel on the whites is taller. This is also like a half sole commando sole, so that's a little taller as well. But also this has a lot more arch support, as it's a 50-50 last, so it actually has the arch support of like a 55. Probably a more direct comparison would be the actual MP with the MP last, the hand sewn one. Probably a more direct comparison. There is some arch support going on with the Viberg, but it's very subtle. It's very minor. In terms of leather thickness between the two, just feeling them. Yeah, the Viberg is actually a thicker leather slightly than the than this Seidel double shot. I'm surprised. But the temper on the double shot is a lot stiffer, is what I can see. It doesn't bend as easily as the Chromexcel. Yeah, I mean, both beautiful boots in their own right. I'm glad I got to compare them. You get a longer tongue here with the whites. It's not fully gusseted. Neither one is. Yeah, and it's definitely a taller. I'm thinking, I don't know, are they about the same upper length? I think the whites has a little bit longer of an upper length, and the upper protrudes out a lot more up in here, which I kind of do like. Whereas it's a little more cut tight in here with the Viberg. Although this does have speed hooks too, so that makes it a little different. But yeah, I just really was curious about Viberg. They have a great reputation in terms of quality, like how well they're actually made. So I had to see for myself. You know, service boots are not why I got into boots, but I've learned to really appreciate them. So I think I would get another pair, but I would definitely get them new next time to really appreciate how they come new. Even their packaging is really impressive. I have no packaging. I have a couple shoe bags that came with this. That was it. But yeah, I mean, what else could I say? If I were to get them again, I would get a brown, something in brown or natural, and definitely the 2020 last, which is even more narrow and like tapered in to your foot tighter. So good for someone like me with a narrow foot. I think the 2020 it's the newest and most refined last, supposedly, but this one, the 2030, is just their most common and well-known and just like quintessential Viberg last. So it's the one I was most curious about. So, but now that I'm that impressed with it, 2020 definitely is something I could see on the horizon. So, yeah, that's everything. Geez, so in the end, which one do I like better? Like Battle of the Service Boots? Oh my god, I almost liked the Viberg better. Which is weird, I didn't even want this initially. I was so obsessed with the MP with the toe cap, but I don't know, maybe if I got the actual Barry, MP last, Barry last version of the MP, maybe I'd feel differently. It's just definitely got a lot more heft to it. It's just in an awkward place because it's so narrow, but yeah, it's still built like super thick. Whereas this is like actually a little wider, but yet still feels sleeker. As odd as that is. Maybe if I had a day night and the MP last, I'd feel a little differently. I don't know. But like I said, even this upper just seems taller, bigger. The tongue is a lot taller, so yeah, that's the two of these. The Battle of the Service Boots. I do like the double shot in some ways, but I don't know, it's just the shine of Chromexcel I really like. But I mean, I can see some creasing in this going on already, and I haven't even really used it. So we'll see how this breaks in, and I'll get back to you. But yeah, maybe if I had a different color double shot, I'd feel differently. I think their British tan looks really nice. I kind of wish that's what I got, because I didn't plan on getting two black boots at first, but this was kind of like a last minute decision to get this, just because of the price and all. So yeah, so that's my two service boots of this variety. And then, here would be my other service boot. So yeah, with this actually being a 9, now the Wesker is bigger, so even though this is supposed to be equivalent to a US 9, it's not, it's smaller. So I'd say it's more equivalent to a US 8.5, a UK 8. Alright, that'll do it. That's everything for you today, and hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next one.